today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make some holiday winter inspired pillows. I have one that I used a transfer paper on, and you can do whatever thing you want. And I did a poinsettia one with some felt, and then I did a weaved kind of pattern with some ribbons that were red and green. And so I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get right into the tutorial.
Alright, so cut 2 pieces of fabric of the same size and go ahead and iron the top one. And go ahead and print out your transfer. If your transfer paper is like mine, you'll need to reverse the image, and then I just cut as close to the words as I could and cut them out separately so I could place them how I liked and I wouldn't have any of the extra white from the paper. So now go ahead and lay out your words and put your iron on there. I first tried for about 30 seconds, and then I just lifted up a corner to see how it was, and it wasn't completely done. So I had to put the iron on there for a little while longer. And then you can go ahead and just carefully peel the whole thing off. See, it wasn't quite done. You can kind of tell, and then just go ahead and go back with your iron. And you want to go slow and careful with this. And I ripped some of the transfer paper, but it didn't affect the image at all. Alright, so on to the next word. And on cold, I had a bit of trouble on the C mostly. The C and a little bit of the O, it kind of didn't completely transfer. So that was one that I needed to work on a little bit, but it didn't turn out too bad. And once you're finished with all your transfer, I took this pom-pom trim, and I'm just going to sandwich it in between the two layers around the edges. So starting at one corner, I just put it where the pom-pom side is in, facing the right sides. And I pinned it in between the edges of the fabric. This way when you sew it, the pillow will be together, and then when you flip it inside out, you'll have the nice pom-pom border. So go ahead and do this all the way around your pillow, and you want to leave a gap at the end. But in the gap, you'll also want to leave some trim so you don't have a little bald spot. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. So here's the gap. Go ahead and sew all the way around where your pins are, and leave the gap, and then there's some trim in there for later. So go ahead and just trim your corners, and go ahead and flip it right side out. And you can see the trim turned out really nice. And then you're just going to go ahead and stuff the pillow as much as you want. Then you're going to close up the gap. You're going to kind of fold in the two edges of the fabric and again sandwich the excess trim in between. This way it'll just look like it was all part of the rest of the pillow. So again, just hand sew that shut. And then I'm adding a little bit of detail. I took this tool, cut some small strips, and I gathered it in the middle. And then I tied some thread around it to keep it in place. And then I took two of those and put them on top of each other, kind of diagonally, so they, or crisscross, so they kind of make this fluffy flower thingy. And you want to figure out where you want to place it and just stitch it on there. And I made two big ones and a small one and just placed them where I like them, and I think they kind of look like snow, like kind of festive and cute. So that's it for this pillow. Next, moving on to the weaved pillow, I got these two different kinds of ribbon, and I just cut several pieces of each. And I went ahead and laid down every other one. So I did a red and then a green and a red and a green. And you want to pin one side of each ribbon. So go ahead and do this horizontally. And then you're going to go ahead and do that vertically as well. Again, pinning at the top. This will keep it in place for when we start weaving. So go ahead and I started with over, under, over, under. And then with the next strip, you're just going to do under, over, under, over. So just do the opposite and just continue doing that all the way across. And when you finish weaving one strip, go ahead and pin them at the bottom as well. And then when you finish completely, you'll pin the other side down. So you're going to go ahead and sew actually all the way around, catching all the ribbons, and you can trim off the excess ribbon. And then you're going to put your other side of your pillow on top and go ahead and sew all the way around again, leaving a gap. And then again, just flip it inside out and stuff it and stitch up the gap, and you're finished with that one. Moving on to the poinsettia, just cut out 2 circles of fabric and stitch them right sides together, leaving a gap. And then go ahead and turn it right side out. And stuff it. And sew the gap. I think you get the idea by now. Next, you're going to take some red felt and you're going to cut out some big leaf shapes. So cut out several of these. You want to see if it looks good on your pillow, if it's big enough. And then with your green, you're going to cut out a couple more, and these will be the leaves on the bottom that we'll put in later. Then go ahead and just arrange your red petals. And I did mine in 2 layers, so I went ahead and just arranged the bottom layer first, and I put 5 petals on. Once I had them how I liked them, I used the hot glue gun just to keep them in place, but you can stitch them on or use fabric glue or whatever you want. And then go ahead and move on to your next layer. And just repeat the same steps. And when you're finished gluing the second layer, for some reason it didn't record, I went ahead and put the leaves, tucked them in under the petals where I liked them, and then I cut out 6 circles of yellow felt and glued them in the middle of my poinsettia. and then you're finished with that pillow.
Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up down below, as always. And if you haven't already, please subscribe if you would like to see more from me. And yeah, if you guys make this project or anything from any of my previous videos, please go ahead and post a picture to social media using the hashtag pherylo, which is my username, so that I can see it and like it and all that good stuff. I hope you guys like this, and if you have any requests for any more, holiday videos or winter videos or anything like that, just let me know. And I will see you next time. Bye!